All right, so today we have Christopher Connolly from Top Hat, who will be showing us about Top Hat and what it does as a classroom response system and several other features. I won't present the whole tool. I'll let you do your job, and we'll go from there. But turn the time over to Christopher, and thank you all for coming. And hopefully we'll get a few more joining with us, and I'll send the recording to those who couldn't make it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Mike, and thanks everyone for joining today. Can everyone hear me okay? How's my audio? Pretty good? Okay, cool. Yeah, so just want to say thanks to Mike for setting this up. In terms of what I'm going to cover today, really what I wanted to do is share a little bit about who we are, how our platform works, and how faculty can get set up with our platform. And if we have time near the end, what I can do is I can show you how faculty create content in our platform. And if you are interested in getting set up with Top Hat, I'm actually going to paste a Google form in the chat. Feel free to fill it out. It'll get sent to me, and we'll book a follow-up one-on-one. So I'll paste that in there now. And I want this to be more so an open conversation. So if you have any questions, just, I don't know, say something in the chat or raise your hand or whatever. I will take some pauses as well, so everyone will have a chance to ask their questions. That's essentially what I wanted to go through. Was there anything else that that you wanted covered that I didn't mention there?
From my perspective, it sounds good, but we're open to what everybody else needs as well.
Awesome, great. Okay, so what I can do at this point is I will share my screen and take you through the Top Hat platform and how it works. So let me go ahead and do that. Are you able to see my screen okay here? All right. 1, 2, and then there we go. Perfect. So what you're looking at is the Top Hat platform. And what I've actually done here today is I've created just a sandbox course. So this is for BYU Provo, and we're going to do a demonstration today. And the next thing that you'll notice on the left-hand side here, this is what we call the content tree. So a lot of faculty at BYU will create folders in the content tree. They will upload slides, create interactive questions, create content. There's a lot that you can do within the platform itself. And I really wanted to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, well, we've got iClicker at BYU. How does Top Hat differ from iClicker or maybe some other competitors that we have, or maybe some other tools that faculty are using? So I really wanted to highlight the benefits of Top Hat and why most faculty choose to work with us. So we offer a lot of different question types to reach higher levels of learning. So we have the usuals: multiple choice, click on target, long answer, but we also have question types like matching, sorting, numerical questions, and also discussion-based questions. So that's one of the differentiators. Another differentiator is we offer highly regarded support to professors and students, as well as instructional design services to help you prepare and plan for your courses. So each person or each faculty member, if they decide to move forward and use Top Hat, we would pair you up with your own instructional designer internal here at Top Hat that will help you build out your course, make sure that you feel comfortable, and make sure that you're successful on the first day and moving forward. We also have the ability to create content in the platform, which if I have time at the end, I will definitely show you, where you can add interactive elements like videos, questions, other websites, and everything stays in one place, which is really cool. And a lot of faculty like to do this. Lauren Truman's an example, and John Chaston, they're examples of faculty members that created their own content and did a really good job doing so. We talked a little bit about textbooks and content. Again, that can all be housed within our platform. And like I said, with our support, we have a team of 40 instructional designers that have worked one-on-one with over 20,000 professors at over 750 institutions. We know best practices, we know what works well, we know what doesn't work as well. So we have that expertise in that area to share, here's another linguistics faculty member at this institution, this is how they do it. Have you ever considered doing it this way? So we're able to share some of those practices as well. So I really wanted to address, why most faculty choose to work with us, and it's mostly for these reasons. In terms of getting set up, it's super easy. I wanted to make sure that the process was really nice and smooth. So what does that look like? After today, if you are interested in getting set up, feel free to fill out that Google form, and I would love to meet with you one-on-one. And the reason why I like to do that is because I really want to understand what's important to you. And that way I can actually tailor the solution or demonstration based on your needs. And I can show you things that will help address some of your challenges. If you decide to move forward, you want to use our platform for the fall. Typically we do like a quick get you started form and then set a time for you to meet with your instructional designer at a later date. So typically there's roughly like 3 training sessions with the instructional designer who will help you build your course, train you on the platform, so on and so forth. But also most importantly, they'll make sure that the integration with Learning Suite or Canvas is set up the way that you want it. So for example, we want to make sure that our gradebook mirrors your Learning Suite or Canvas gradebook. Your instructional designer will be able to help you do that. So that's why we dedicate time towards that. We'll send you a course syllabus insert. So that will let students know what Top Hat is, what they're going to be doing with the platform. And we ask that faculty allocate at least 5% towards Top Hat in their course syllabus so that students have an incentive to use the software. And in terms of how the pay structure works, so it's a student pay. So students can purchase access codes at their bookstore or through us directly. And the pricing is laid out here. So $29, for example, for one semester. And they wouldn't have to purchase multiple times. If students pay the $29, they could use Top Hat in any course within that time frame. I already mentioned bookstore. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to our support team, your instructional designer, or me directly. So you have support throughout the entire process, okay? I want to take a pause. Any questions or comments so far? No, we are all good. Pretty straightforward, great. So I just wanted to highlight that. And again, our support team their information is here. We have a support team for faculty and we have a support team for students. So for example, if a student needs help with something, please redirect them to us. We don't want faculty dealing with student inquiries. We're happy to take that on. So they can shoot us an email, they can call us, and we also have a chat that they could use as well. Right? Great. So I wanted to first and foremost focus on our student response system. And if we have time, I will show how to create content. So you'll notice here in this folder, we've actually created I've titled this folder Classroom Week 1. And within the folder, I've actually uploaded some slides. And you'll also notice that I've interspersed some questions throughout the slides. And it's very, very simple to do these things. Everything starts with this create button right here. You just click on create, and then you click folder, you name it whatever you'd like. You click upload slides, and then you can either drag and drop your slides in there or find it on your desktop and upload them. And then you would then click on question to start creating your questions. Very simple, very straightforward. And the feedback that we get from faculty is like, this is so easy to use. It's very intuitive, it presents well. And that's another reason why faculty like to work with us. So what does this look like in real time? What I will actually do is I'm going to present as an instructor through my laptop here, and then I will actually sign in as a student from my cell phone or my mobile device and show you how this works in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and present. And you'll notice a couple of things here. So first and foremost, you'll notice a join code. So a join code is something that a student would input in the Top Hat app, or they'd go to tophat.com and log in. And once they put this join code in, that allows them to enroll in that course. So that's what that means. Once they've enrolled, they're in for the semester. This number does not change for that semester. Now, if you want to take attendance, you can also do that through our platform. So you click take attendance, this 4-digit code will populate, and that's actually populated on my device in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 3534, that code, and you can see here that I have been marked as present for this lecture. So this data is saved and archived in the Top Hat gradebook, so you don't have to worry about it. And the big question I get is like, can students share this code with their friends that might be at home, watching TV? And the answer is no. We can actually turn on something called secure attendance, which means students will actually have to physically be within a 100-foot radius of the class in order to put this code in. So there's ways around it to ensure that students are in the classroom. Take a pause. Any questions or comments about the attendance feature before I go into the lecture? Nope, all good.
Okay. Actually, just quickly, so how does, I don't need all the technology, but I'm assuming the 100-foot radius is, or did you say 100 foot or 100 yard?
100 feet, 100 foot
feet?
radius. Yeah.
Okay. From the machine that the faculty member is presenting on?
So I know it
into?
uses, yeah, I know it uses Bluetooth technology.
Okay.
I can send you a support article that highlights a little bit more about the background of the tech.
Yeah, don't waste time here. We can talk about it offline.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
But I'm just taking a note here. Cool. Great question.
I was also wondering about that. So the student's phone would have to have the geolocation or other type of things enabled.
Great question. I'm 99% sure as long as Bluetooth is on, it will work. But I will double check and just make sure that and check our support article, and I'll send a follow-up email to everyone in the room today, or I'll send it to Mike and maybe Mike can forward it if that's easier.
Thank you.
Great. So I will mention students can interact with the lecture using their mobile device, their laptop, or tablet. So any one of those devices will work. So let me go ahead and start this presentation so you can see what this looks like. So nothing really changes in terms of teaching style. If you have slides, you can very easily present those right through our platform. And if you want to annotate on the slide itself, you can, which is really cool. And then when you want to ask your class a question, you can quite easily do that by starting the question. And I know it's Thursday afternoon, so I kept it very light with the question types. So the first question is, who is BYU's athletic mascot? So we'll go ahead and start that question. And because I did my reading from the night before, I believe I know the answer. So I'm going to go ahead and select from one of these answers here. So I've submitted. You'll notice on the bottom left here, on the professor side, you'll see how many students have answered this question. And when you feel like everyone's had a chance and you want to look at the responses, you can go ahead and click on responses. And it will give you a nice table or tally as to how your class responded to this question. And then if you want to see how many got it correct, just click on correct. and it will identify the number of students. So this is real time. You're able to see if the class is comprehending the material or not. And if a majority of the class understands the concept, that's great. You can move on. But if a large majority doesn't, it gives faculty an opportunity to course correct or maybe give a different example. So we want to make sure that you have that data available. This data is also going to be saved within our Top Hat gradebook. So I will show that in just a few moments. I'll take a pause. Any questions or any comments about the polling feature? Nope. Okay, great. The other question type that I wanted to show is great for a couple different disciplines. We often see it in STEM-based classes, and that's called our click on target question. So this is asking where is the BYU campus located? And students will actually have to click on the image to identify where the correct answer is. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I've submitted my answer. When you want to see how your class responded, you can go ahead and click on responses, and it will give you a nice heat map as to where students responded on this image. And then you can see how many students got it correct. So again, this is great for example, a biology class where maybe they bring up a photo of a cell and they want students to identify a certain part of the cell. Or in geography, identified a certain city on a map, much like this. So there's a lot of great uses for this sort of question type. So I did want to highlight that as well. And the last question is more open-ended. And that's our discussion-based question. And what a lot of faculty at BYU will do is they'll ask this question near the end of class. And what we call it is an exit ticket. So we'll ask students, what was the muddiest point of today's lecture? Or what was one thing that maybe you didn't understand? So I'm going to go ahead and type something in. So as you can see, this came in real time. This particular student didn't understand slide 4. You'll notice a couple things here. First and foremost, their name is anonymous. So that's something that you can turn on the back end, where if you have students that are shy or don't want their name shown up on a dashboard, definitely turn that on. So students are comfortable submitting answers on this dashboard. But on the instructor side, you can actually just click on this and you can see the student's name. Now, what a lot of faculty will do is they may ask their students to take a couple minutes and go through some of the questions or some of the submissions. And what students can actually do is they can like the posts that resonate with them. So they give it a little thumbs up. And then what the faculty member can do is they can filter these submissions by the most liked. So the most liked will populate near the top, and you can choose to address those in real time. Or if you want to do that after class, you can go ahead and leave a comment and post it. So these submissions will be saved, they'll be archived. Students can always revert back and faculty can always revert back. So I did want to highlight this. It's more open-ended. It really gives students a voice, which is what we're trying to accomplish here. And it's great too, because a lot of students, in most cases, will have similar questions. So it's a really nice time saver. I'll take a pause. Any questions about the discussion feature?
Yeah, I have all the chat. I must have missed this. The chats you have hidden, but you can have open ones, right? That everybody can see or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'll show you is I'll actually open up the discussion question and show you the options available when you're creating these questions. So I'm going to go into edit. And you'll notice as you scroll down, you can have it so that the responses are seen by everyone or the professor only.
Okay.
And then you can have it so that participants are anonymous too. No one,
Everyone
which would,
okay.
yeah, which would keep it open so you can see all those students' names, and then you would just save it.
Okay, there's no up and down voting. Like, so if you wanted to say, pose a question that we're going to go over in class and review the questions there, and I want everybody to chime in on what's the most important question that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Do you have something? If not, oh, you do have liked.
yeah, exactly. So we'll
Okay.
have a little upvote, and then you
Okay.
can filter by the most liked.
Okay. Excellent.
Awesome. Great question.
And this is the what's the question? Chat question type?
This is a discussion question.
Discussion question type. Okay.
Yep. So you would, if you click create, the discussion question type is just right here. Awesome. Great question, Mike. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments? Pretty straightforward. Great. So let's say you've finished your lecture and you want to see the data from that particular lecture. You could just jump into the gradebook here. And what you'll notice here is on the left-hand side, you'll have your students' names. Second column will be their totals. The third column will be attendance, if you take attendance. And then the rest of the columns will be organized based on the folders that we create in the content tree. So if you remember, I created that classroom week 1 folder. So that's highlighted here. I can start opening this up and I get to see all the questions that I asked and how students performed on those questions. So it looks like Chris did his homework last night, which is nice. Now, when you want to move these grades into Learning Suite, or if you want to move these grades into Canvas, there's actually going to be a little button. It's beside this. It's going to be to the left of this plus button, 2 arrows that form the shape of a circle, and it's going to say sync with LMS. So you can click that and all your grades will move over to Learning Suite or move over to Canvas very nicely. And I always recommend sit with your instructional designer for 15 or 20 minutes and allow them to help you do your first sync. They've done it a million times, so they'll be able to help you through the process. And if you're comfortable after sitting with them, like, you're off to the races. But I always recommend it as best practice. Any questions about the gradebook? All right, very good. So if you are in a situation where you don't always have time to go through the gradebook, but you want to have some sort of data that's usable, what we're actually going to do is we're going to send you a weekly course report right to your inbox every week. Usually it comes in Sunday nights. And so what is a weekly course report? A weekly course report lets you know what happened during lecture, what happened on that quiz that you assigned, what happened on that homework assignment. So this is an example of a weekly course report from a microeconomics professor. And this particular professor asked 22 questions this week. And in the top portion of the report, we'll let you know the questions that students did well on. So for example, question 7, 112 responses, 89% of the class got it correct. If I was a faculty member, I can reasonably assume that a clear majority of the class understands the concept, don't need to go over it again. However, in this portion of the report, we will let you know the questions that students seem to need help with. So for example, question 8, 125 responses, only 9% of the class got it correct. So I always like to ask faculty, if you saw this data in your weekly course report, what sort of steps would you take the following week? And I always get some great answers, like maybe the question wasn't worded quite the way it should have been. Maybe I need to give a different example and go over it again the next class. Maybe I need to put this on the final exam. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with this, these actionable insights. Now, the information does get a little more granular. So we'll let you know the individual students that are pacing well or doing well in your class. And I actually have some faculty at BYU that will email these students and say, hey, keep up the great work. You know, you had a great week this week. And it really builds their confidence throughout the entirety of the course. And again, we know faculty are busy, so whenever they get a chance, they'll do it. But just as important, we will let you know the students that are struggling or lagging behind. So for example, if you look at this data, Haley W has answered less questions than everybody else. And of the questions that she did answer, she's only got 16% of them correct. So there's a couple assumptions you can make. Attendance is probably an issue. Could be that they're not doing the readings before the lecture itself. There could be a lot of different reasons. And I always ask faculty, okay, you've got a personal life, you've got X amount of students, you've got a lot on your plate already. How do you typically handle individual students that are lagging behind? And I get some answers like, you know, just sending them a quick email might be enough to turn things around. Usually there's on-campus resources that they can take advantage of, or they can come to faculty members' office hours or go see the TA. There's a lot that students can do. But what we want to do is give faculty this data earlier rather than later. So that way, you know, if someone's off to a bad start, they have a chance to turn things around. So I will take a pause. Any questions or comments about the weekly course report?
Nope, but that looks like it could be very helpful in reaching students that are struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the feedback that we get, not just from BYU, but I work with a ton of institutions, including Oregon State, Washington State, and the weekly course report has been very, very helpful, according to them, and they don't want it to go away, and it won't be going away. So appreciate your comment, Mike. Great. So if there's no other questions, we do have some time. I can actually go through what it looks like to create content on our platform. So we are a student response system, but we are also a publisher. So we have content in our Top Hat catalog where faculty can adopt textbooks, they can author their own, we can author for them. So there's a lot that we can do. But what I'll do is I'll show you how to create your own content right within the platform itself. So all you have to do to do that is you go to create and you click on pages. And once you do that, pages will open up. And I want you to think of pages as a very interactive Word document. So a lot of faculty will use this to create homework assignments, to create chapter readings, sometimes to create quizzes or tests. So there's a lot that you can do in here. We even had a lot of faculty during COVID and post-COVID that would upload recordings of themselves, maybe doing a lecture and then having students answer questions based on the video. So that's another way that you could use this. But as you scroll down, you'll notice that there is some text, but also some questions that has been interspersed throughout the text itself. And there's a lot that you can do with this. So let's say you wanted to add in some other interactive elements or add in some content. I'm just going to go here and add in content here. And all I have to do is click this little plus button, and then you'll have a bunch of options that you can choose from. So you can create more questions if you want. You can import questions, maybe that you have in a question bank. You can upload a video. You can upload images, create discussion questions, add tables, or maybe a website. So what I'll actually do is I'll show you, let's say you have a video that would work really well with this homework assignment. All you have to do is click on video. And I'm actually going to use one from YouTube. So let's see if I can pull one up here. I'll use this video here. copy that. And I'm going to paste it. And you'll notice that the video is housed right within the reading itself, and students will be able to play it and watch the video. There are no YouTube ads or anything like that, so it's very interactive. And let's say you wanted to add in another website right within the reading itself. So let's do that. I'm going to use tophat.com just as an example. And I'm going to add it or insert it as an iframe. And I'm going to just paste this link in here. And the website will actually show right within the page itself. So students can interact with the website right from here. So if I click on menu, educators, features, they can interact right within the page. They don't have to open up multiple tabs to get to their resources. They can do everything right within pages. And then when you want to save it, you can save it. And if you want to assign it to your students as homework, you click on the assignment, click the assign button here, and you'll have a couple different options. If you want it graded for homework, so there's points associated, you have that option. If you just want it for review, so it's not graded, you just want students to have access to it, you can choose that option as well. If it is homework and that is graded, you can assign a due date. So let's say you want it done by tomorrow night. After the due date, students can review it. You have that choice as well. You can put the number of attempts per question. So let's say you want to give them 2 attempts in case they get one wrong. You can provide feedback as well. So let them know if they've answered correctly or incorrectly. And it's up to you. You can show the correct answer after the last attempt if you want, but you don't have to. And then you click assign. And now this has been assigned to your students that are enrolled in your course, and that now they're able to have access to this homework assignment. So I just want to be clear, students will not have access to anything unless it's been assigned to them. So they can't see anything until it's assigned. So I know that was a lot when it comes to pages. So I'll take a little pause. Any questions or comments about our pages feature? No, pretty straightforward. Great. I'm going to unassign that. So that is essentially what I wanted to go through today. I wanted to keep it super simple for faculty. Again, I really wanted to focus on our student response system, real-time insights, as well as saved and archived insights through the gradebook and the weekly course report. And if you are interested in creating content or creating homework assignments, you can use our pages feature as well. If you are interested in using Top Hat or learning more, feel free to, I'll actually post it again, just in case.
Yeah, I think there was one or two people that weren't here when you first posted it, so
No
be a good
worries.
idea.
Great. So I just posted it in there. Feel free to fill out that Google form. It just has a couple questions about what you're going to be teaching in the fall, what interests you the most. And then we can book a one-on-one time to chat. And what I would like to do in that follow-up chat is learn more specifically about some of your goals and some of the challenges that you're trying to overcome. And then I can show you a very tailored, personalized demonstration of the platform that's focused on what's important to you. And if you are looking at moving forward after that meeting, we can book a time with the instructional designer to make sure that you're all set up. And the last thing is, if you are using another tool, so for example, like an iClicker or any other tool, and you would like to move over to our platform, our instructional design team can help you migrate that content over. So if you are able to get that content in like a copy and paste format with the correct answer identified, usually it takes us about 2 weeks, and we'll actually just put it in the platform for you. So you don't have to worry about doing that yourself. First day of class, I believe, is until August 29th. So we've got plenty of time, which is great. And that would give us plenty of time to move content over. Just looking if there's anything else. No, I think that's it. So again, I appreciate everyone joining. Mike, I'll send you a follow-up email just about secure attendance if you want to share that with those in the room. And again, if anyone's interested, feel free to fill out that form.
All righty. Appreciate Christopher for coming, and for all of you for being here with us. And I guess we'll hopefully see some of you next week if you're able to make it. And like I said, we'll be talking about what's new in Learning Suite next week. Look for that in the Y News. And in the meantime, any questions about Top Hat, feel free to reach out to Christopher or myself. Any other questions, feel free to contact us here at the Center for Teaching and Learning. And have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Mike.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.